is Butch Valdes, Chairman of the Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino, the KDP. It's been suggested that I take a few moments from time to time to address our friends in Facebook and YouTube and other forms of media to share and announce important messages which need to be conveyed. Now is such an occasion. On June 12, my friends, the whole nation celebrates Philippine Independence Day, ang araw ng kalayaan. It is a most significant day for all of us. And the term kalayaan or freedom is made even more significant because of the difficulties that we are now facing as a nation and as a people. Let me share with you a declaration of the KDP, which I am positive many other coalesced organizations would be associating with. A revolutionary declaration of freedom. When in the course of historically the worst crisis confronting our nation today, the prevailing conditions of socio-economic life resulting in deaths due to the pandemic and even greater loss of lives caused by economic shutdowns, incompetence, and negligence. When the people for the past 3 decades are forced to tolerate the imposition of onerous conditions of privatization of public utilities in an immoral conspiracy of government with 8 oligarchic family corporations. When these elite oligarchic families are allowed to feed their insatiable greed by mercenary government officials as well, and the controlled majority of all 3 branches of government in acts of omission or commission to impose without restraint among the highest electricity and water rates in the world, preventing investments, driving businesses to the ground, and condemning households to ever worsening and intolerable existence. When, to exacerbate the already insufferable conditions, the World Health Organization announces the existence of a global pandemic of COVID-19, wherein the President, upon the advice of his erstwhile Secretary of Health, immediately orders nationwide extended lockdowns, forcing people to stay indoors and shutting down businesses completely or partially for the past 1.5 years. When, to make matters even much worse for our people's health crisis, the corrupt health officials refuse to test and allow internationally accepted and declared prophylactic and curative medicines, and instead ban them from being administered, yet insisting on fascist measures like mandatory inoculation of the general public of vaccines which clearly use human beings as experimental lab rats, testing whole populations in conspiracy with big pharma companies. When the government's mishandling of the economic and health crisis plunges the country into 6 successive recessions, or a great depression, with loss of jobs of all daily wage earners, as well as those trying to survive in the informal economy, which translates to 60 to 70% unemployment, a situation which present government economic managers are totally incompetent to address, other than borrowing more unpayable debt. When corrupt government officials in the legislature and the cabinet, motivated by economic self-interest and voracious greed, have demonstrated questionable allegiance to the Republic by sponsoring bills detrimental to national interest and surrendering our patrimony to foreign speculators. When government continues to wage war against ideological terrorists, NPA extortionists, illegal drug producers and pushers, CIA-influenced political opposition moving to regime change, and having to contend with COMELEC and an absolutely corrupt electoral process now completely controlled, funded directly or indirectly by the oligarchs, with full support of mainstream media and their prostituted commentators. When observing the national government's seeming incapability to address the ongoing multiple and overwhelming crisis, more and more of our regional leaders are calling for national leadership to immediately declare a revolutionary government, to facilitate a restructuring of government, to change socio-economic policies, and to grant autonomy through federalization in order to adequately, equitably, and efficiently cause the proper governance of the country, strengthen its brotherhood and unity based on a common national objective, provide the mechanism for true economic development, and to stop the further deterioration of our people's way of life to save the nation. Now and therefore, we, the Filipino people, inspired by divine providence, represented by a wide range of coalesced national multi-sectoral movements and regional organizations, in solidarity with all freedom-loving citizens here and abroad, do hereby call on the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Philippine National Police, and the President of the Philippines to immediately declare a revolutionary government, implement the necessary steps, take back our stolen country, and to re-establish our sovereignty as a nation and as a people. On this most significant day, the Philippine Independence Day, ang araw ng ating kalayaan, we declare our freedom from those who have usurped their authority to govern. We declare our freedom from those in government who have lied and continue to lie to the people, promoting ignorance and confusion. We declare our freedom from those in government in conspiracy with the elite oligarchy who have imposed the heaviest financial burden and extreme poverty on our population these past decades. We declare our freedom from those who instituted economic policies which promote hunger and death in an effort to depopulate our country. We declare our freedom from those who prevent us from properly exercising our constitutional right to worship in accordance with our religious beliefs and customs. And last but not the least, we declare our freedom from the fear of becoming a failed nation state, asserting our resolve that we, the Filipino people, true to the aspirations of our national heroes and those present today, shall live and prosper as one undivided nation, determined to carve out a Philippine Renaissance, a just society of Filipinos bound by a common dream of a new republic based on truth, justice, peace, and development. So help us, God.
Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas!